So now buyer's agents have to step up. They have to show their value. My comments to my agents in my office, I want a resume. Your buyer's agency presentation better be your resume and why you're so good, because you are looking for a job. You are applying for a job with every buyer out there. Okay. Now, how do you get them to hire you and not somebody else?
Right. Yeah, what's your extra, because my fear is that, and I know this is going to happen in Tulsa because this is how our agents are. Most people are money focused, right? Most are.
Absolutely.
And we're going to have agents that are hungry right now, and they're going to say, well, I'll do it for one, or I'll do it for two. I mean, how do you win against that?
I take that and go, you look at all the iBuyers that have been out there, and we were so worried when they first came into the market too. And where are they? They're dying. They're dying on the vine because they realized very quickly that showing, guys, this situation works in the 2021 market when things were crazy, right? It's perfect, but this is market driven. Supply and demand is what drives the price of homes, and not buyers or sellers, and not agents pricing homes. We position homes on the market, and we did not raise the price of homes because we have 6% commission in it. That's not true. We all know that. Now we have to educate the public that that's the case. Okay. I've sat for plenty of listing presentations, and the first thing out of the husband's mouth is, I'm not paying you 3%, or I'm not paying you 6%, right? We've all sat that. We've all had those conversations, and we're like, well, okay, I understand. Well, let's talk. What is it that you're afraid of? What is it that you don't want to pay for? Because for my listings, I provide a pre-listing inspection. I provide a move out clean by my maid when it's cleaned. I provide drone photos, floor plans, area, all of the professional photography, like all of the things, all of the marketing I pay for. And here's my list of marketing that I do. What do you think that is worth to you? Now you have to do the same thing to the buyers. And you just tell them, hey,
okay,
go ahead, what?
Will you tell me how you sell? What are your bullet points? What is a buyer looking for that you do that they want to pay for?
So let's do that. So when I sit down for a buyer's presentation, I have a checklist of things that I sit down and I talk with them with. And I talk to them about the entire process of buying a home. And I set them up with it. I'm like, okay, so nice to meet you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what you're looking for in a house? And they tell me, 3 bedroom, 2 bath in this location, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, wonderful. Have you been pre-approved with the lender? First of all, I'm not ever showing a house unless they've been pre-approved. Okay. Because when we submit offers here, you do.
That'll be new to us. Yes, definitely.
Okay. New. So that'll be new here. And this has been the case for quite a while. But a lot of times our pre-approval letter has been required to open the door.
Okay.
Okay. So we've had prove that they're not just looky-loos, and you're not wasting your time showing a house because they're never getting pre-approved. Right. So my question is, are you using a mortgage or are you paying cash? Oh, well, and I ask it in that order. Are you using a mortgage or are you paying cash? Because I don't want to offend somebody who has the cash to say that they need a mortgage. So you have to ask for cash last, right? Because that's what they hear. So are you using a mortgage? Are you paying cash? I'm like, oh, I wish I could pay cash, but no, I need a mortgage. Cool. Then have you spoken with a lender, and do we know what budget you're looking to purchase? Do we know what your monthly payment is or you want it to be? Cool. Now here's some introductions to some lenders. We let them get pre-approved, and then I meet with them. Almost always that's the direction that it goes. Okay. And usually we meet with them with the lender, and I let my lender do his thing. It's my husband. It's kind of easy that way. I'm going to let him do it. And then I sit down and go, okay, now we're going to talk about houses. And in the meantime, I'm sending them houses for the approximate monthly payment that they want to see. Right. And I hope to God that Daryl can get him pre-approved for that. And usually he can. We have weird one-offs where he can't, and then we have to back it down or do whatever. And I say, okay, so when we do search criteria in the MLS, I want to keep it as simple as possible, right? I don't want to put in that you need a bathtub in the master bedroom because a lot of, especially newer homes, don't have that anymore. It's all 3/4. You know, on and on. We go through all of the stuff about what I am going to send you. I'd rather send you everything and let you tell me it's not an option, rather all of the things about the MLS searches, right? We talk about the different loan types, and we talk about, I talk a lot about lending in my buyer's presentation. Are you using FHA, VA, conventional, or otherwise in your loans? And then, you know, we have conversations around that. And if they're on the verge of FHA or conventional, if they're kind of like, they could go either way, we talk about the pros and cons of each and what that could mean for them. Right now, FHA has a much lower interest rate than conventional, even with 20% down. Okay, so it might be best, depending at what DTI you are, or what credit score you're at, what gate. And based on that, then we talk about, do we want to look at FHA homes or do we want to look at conventional homes, or does it matter? And we talk about the fact that 80% of buyers are FHA or VA buyers. Even most conventional buyers do not have 20% down. You actually need less down on a conventional loan than you do on an FHA. Minimum down, right? So I would highly recommend you start sitting with your lending partners and really learn a lot about lending, right? The different types of loans and the things that are out there, because you are now the expert and you've got to show them your value. And they're like, oh my God, you know everything. This is where I want to be. You're going to tell me, you're going to help me, you're going to answer these questions for me. You're watching out for me. So when we look for homes, one of the other things we're looking at is, if you're using an FHA loan, I can't show you homes that won't pass an FHA appraisal, right? Because I don't want you to fall in love with a home that we're not going to be able to purchase for you. Some sellers aren't willing to accept FHA or VA loans. They're only willing to accept conventional. So what do we need to do there? We have conversations around that. But my job, Mr. Buyer, is to make your offer as strong as we possibly can. Lately, we've started to see a lot more multiple offer situations again. And with that, I need to be able to win the house that you want on your behalf. Okay? So there's some different ways to do that. We talk about the potential for waiving any contingent dates, you know, inspections, appraisals, all of the things that we saw in 2021. We talk about price. Just because it's an asking price doesn't mean that's the actual price of the home. You tell me you love this home, I'm going to go and I'm going to do my due diligence around it. And I'm going to make sure they're not overpriced. And I'm going to tell you what I think it should have been listed at price-wise. I'm also going to make best friends with the listing agent. And I'm going to, you know, play poker with them, yes, but they're going to think I'm their best friend. If I have to take them to lunch, I will. I want them to know that we're going to do everything we possibly can to get this deal to the closing table, because that's what the seller wants. Sellers want to sell, buyers want to buy. Now it's my job to make sure that that's what happens. You, Mr. Buyer, have 100 ways out of this contract, right? All of the dates and deadlines are ways for you to get out of this contract. And I don't know about Oklahoma's contract, but in Colorado, literally the seller has no way out once you're under contract.
Correct.
Unless
Same
the
here.
buyer gives them an objection, right?
Yeah, same here.
So I tell my buyers that. I'm like, you hold all the cards. Now, how we play them, I'm going to coach you on. That's my job as your agent, is to be your coach. And we're going to play this game, and we're going to play this game to win. If you tell me you want to throw in the towel, then that's what we're going to do. We're going to go find you another house. Okay? But most importantly, we need to play the game to win.